Hi everybody, how's it going? Tomorrow I'm having a monumental trip going to Scotland. On the way there I will be going to my daughter in South Wales and then driving up to North Wales and meeting up with some friends, and then off we go. So this is a little update video. I'll show you what I've done to prepare my van for the Scotland trip. So inside, because probably it's going to rain a little bit, I've re-lacquered all the tops on the back as well, around the back there, on the back of the doors, so that's all lacquered. So if it does get wet, I can just wipe it down. I don't know if everyone's noticed my Smirnoff sign that comes on when the door is opened, or any of the doors are opened. Now at the back there, I don't know if you can see, well you can't because it's not on, there is the multi-function light that there's a switch on it. Now I tried for hours and hours to pinning it to try and get it to work, just by using the black plug. You can't. So all I did was I took apart the light, I soldered 2 wires onto the terminals where the bulb goes in, run a wire, perfect. So little tip there, if you're trying to use that black plug to control your lights, because there are lights in the normal panel van along here and along there, well, back there actually. So yeah, that switch at the back controls all the lights in the original panel van. So to be fair, what I should have done is I should have just used that and then I could have run the wires, but luckily, because I haven't panelled the roof at the back, it was a piece of cake. So yeah, that light now, as soon as I open that door, light comes on, shines up the inside of the van. I've done some updates. I've built this shelf, little cubby hole, so I can just put knickknacks in there because it was just like a waste of space really. Zoom out. And my breaker box, I've labelled everything, so I've got 2 spare, that one and that one. So locker, basically that's a light that's above the cab, the Wi-Fi box, front USBs, which is these ones down here, so 2 USB sockets and a 12-volt socket for my MacBook Pro and iPhone 12 thing. Living space, which is basically just these lights, bedroom lights, and obviously I've got that on a remote control here, so I can just press that and they go on and off. And there's also a remote control at the back. We've got the bed, front 12-volt socket. There's a 12-volt socket here. That's for like a drone or something or whatever. Rear USBs, they're for the bedroom USBs. Let's have a quick look. So you can probably see there's a old iPad there. That's just got, I'm just using that as a clock at the moment. And then I've got another iPad and a Samsung Galaxy Pad and the TV. Yeah, water pump, spare CDH, which is Chinese diesel heater, and then the TV. So yeah, looks all right. I'm quite happy the way it's turning out actually. I haven't finished the shower, that's not important at the moment. Right, let's go around to the front. Right, I've done a few bits and pieces in the cab. Hope it's not going to be too shaky. So I've moved the screen for the reversing camera because that was right at the back at an angle, and the radio, my little USB powered radio, that used to sit here, and the aerial used to annoy me basically. So in its place I've put another phone holder, and that's going to be my sat nav. This is an Audi phone, and it's really good for Google Maps. And then I've got my iPhone 12 Max Pro thing that's going to sit there, which is I'm recording on now. So yeah, this is the front of the cab, and I have done a few updates on the back, which hopefully I'm going to fit today because it's not raining. So we'll go around the back. Right, one hole drilled. These are the hinges for the rear doors. I've chopped the sway bar, or tie bars, what we want to call them, because I've got myself a Williams spare wheel rack. Because the tie bar is quite long, doesn't sit very low, but it's quite long. It's a bit of a faff to get the spare wheel out. You imagine you're broken down somewhere, you've got a flat tire on the rear, grass verge or whatever, crawling around when it's raining. I thought, do you know what, that was 225 quid posted. It's really well made, it's really well put together, but all I did is zoom in here. These holes here are made a little bit bigger. What I've done is I've done these bolts. So there's the bolts, and I've made little washers. They've got a little flat bit on them, and that sits against the edge in there. Oh, I can't get in there. So it holds it nice and still. And obviously little lock nuts and the bolts. So I'm going to fit that today because the paint's gone off. I just hammer-righted it, that's all I did. Sprayed, hammered, hammer-right. So I'm going to take that's all right. I can take this panel off here, which is just these screws, and then fit that. So I'll be back in a bit. Right, so the panel's off, and I've cut a little section out here. So there's the hole, and that's where the bolt's going to go through. So let's go and try and attach it on. Okay, that actually took like 4 minutes, if that. There is a tiny little gap there, so you have to be aware of that. But I use oversized bolts, which I had to make the holes a little bit bigger. So that's all fixed. Put a bolt through there, and I'll put a blob of black silicone in there, so that's all watertight. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to tape that back up, fold that back down, put that back on. Job's a good one. So there you go, it's all fitted, and I've put a little bit of like foam stuff here, so it stops the wheel from vibrating or rattling or whatever. So it's all on there, all done. Now the only thing it doesn't come with is wheel bolts. Now I've got the part number for these. Let's go back in the van. I've actually written it down, and there you go, Febby, and there's the part number. The part number is 46675, and I got 6 of them, and they were 14 quid. So yeah, I might change one for a stud, and then drill a hole through it, and then I can put a padlock on it. But for the time being, I'm just going to put a motorbike padlock on it. So let's go and mount the spare wheel. So there you go, spare wheel mounted. I've only put 3 bolts in there for the time being. I'm going to save the others just in case. I don't know why, but I'll probably, as I said, I might put a locking wheel nut key one in here, or just a padlock through there, and then it can't come off. I've got a motorbike chain which I'm just going to wrap through there because it's all protected. But so I've got another spare wheel which I'm going to put inside, which is the original spare wheel. That was in a right bad way, and I've actually managed to get it up quite good. So there's a spare tyre fitted to the Williams rack. Probably total cost of probably about 250 quid. Money well spent, I think, because crawling around on the floor underneath there You can see all the old Raptor paint actually, because everything's Raptor painted underneath. I've also taken all these off, all the side mouldings off, and make sure there's no rust behind them. And I've put new sticky tabs on them, and I don't know if you can see right in there, but I've sealed it with black silicone all the way, so there's no water that can get down in. So new tyres at the front. I just went for they're called Nankang, just a budget tyre, but they're these are 10 ply tyres. They got the little snow thing, and they're active AW8s, 235 65 16C. So yeah, they're going to be and fitted properly, because there's the valve. So also, I don't know if you can see, but when I first got this van, the camber was at the top of the wheel was right out, and so I've adjusted the camber both sides. So I think I'm ready. Right, well, I'm going to wrap this video up because it's just a short one, just for a little update. I'm joined by my trusty little lamb. Tip, hello. Hello. So now I've just got myself some red diesel. I'm going to chuck that in the back. That's for the Chinese diesel heater. And then tomorrow, going to make sure that the van's okay. I know it's okay. I was going to pump the back tyres up, because I did actually lower them down to 55 psi, and that the reason behind that is because when I had the airbags on the back, I thought the suspension was too stiff. Later found out that the reason why it was too stiff because the airbags were pumped up and split the chassis. But that's all been repaired now. New MOT, new boots on the front, rear shoes are okay. Tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Scotland. Cheers, bye.